when we are going to deal with bigger projects, so it is possible that we could be dealing also with larger number of codes, okay, and it's possible that it could be more than 1,000 or bigger than that, okay, the number of codes that we are going to deal with, okay. So if ever we are going to have that number of lines of codes, it's possible it would be more difficult for us to manage our program. Okay? So to avoid having a very large number of lines of codes into our programs, so we are going to have this what we call as code splitting. Okay, so instead that we are just going to have a single file that is going to contain all of our codes, so we are going to split that. And this example that I'm going to give you is we are going to split our code by using components. Okay, now it is possible a separate function, but in this case I'm going to introduce to you how are we going to use components so that we could lessen the number of lines into our codes, okay, and we are going to apply the technique what we call as the code splitting. Okay, so we have here our code for our contacts list, and as of now we have okay, up to 414 lines number of lines. Okay, so we are going to try to minimize the number of lines, okay, so that it would then be easier for us to manage each of the files that we have. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split my code, then I'm going to separate my modals. Okay, so take note. We have two modals here, and each of them, and both of them contains, I think, more than 100 lines of codes. 250, okay, more or less 100 lines of codes. Okay, now what will happen if ever we're going to have some more modals into our code? So it would give us more lines of codes. But what you're going to take note here is that the two modals, okay, first is we have okay, the definition of the modal, then we have the header and the body, and then we have the footer. Okay, so in the other modal definition here, so we have the modal definition, the header, the body, and then we have the footer and end. Okay, the only difference actually with the two is we have the content of the body, okay, and also with actually the title. Okay, those are the only things that differ into our two models here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, instead that we are going to have two models, two modal definitions, I'm just going to use one. Okay, so I'm going to create a component for each of the body of the modal definition here. First, for the view, both separate component for the view and the update operations. Okay, so first is I'm going to create the modal for view. Okay, so we have defined here before components folder. Okay, so I'm going to create another folder. Let us say I'm going to have the contacts component. Okay, then inside contacts component, I'm going to create view that. Okay, I'm just going to have view.js, in which in my view.js it is going to contain the code for the body of the view modal. Okay, so RAFCE view, I'm just going to name it view contact. Okay, Then from my page.js, okay, so I'm going to copy the definition for table, the body. Okay, then I'm just going to copy it here. And I'm going to have, oops. Okay, and paste it here. Okay. By the way, I'm going to have them inside. But first, we're going to import container. Okay, so these are the React Bootstrap component that I'm going to use into my body. Okay, then next is I'm going to enclose them within a container. So I'm just going to have here slash container. Okay, then since we are going to display here our contact, okay, or the data for our contacts, I'm just going to have here a parameter. I'm just going to call it contact details. Okay, so we're going to have the contact details. Maybe just contact. It's because I have now here, so that we could still use here our. I'm not going to change anymore the definition for the contact here. Okay. Then below, okay, I'm just going to have it this one first. Okay. So next is how am I going to call this component? Okay, save. Okay. So where this? Okay, so we are going to open. Where's my view mode? Okay, so we are going to call our view component inside our modal body. Okay, so I'm going to have view I think view update. No. View contact. Okay, so view contact. Then I'm going to send. Okay. By the way, my view contact needs contact. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send view contact. Where it is. Okay. Contact is equal to the current contact. Okay. Okay. So as you could see here, I'm now calling my view contact component with this one here. Okay. But then take note on how are we going to display our modal is we are going to have here show view modal. Okay, and our update is show update modal. But since we are going to have or we are going to use only a single modal at this time, so we are now going to, I'm just going to have here, I'm going to modify, okay? Instead of show view modal, I'm just going to have show modal. Okay? And we have also here. Okay? Then we are going to modify our definition for the set or for the view modal into just set show modal. So take note, in both the view and update, we are going to use this variable here. Okay, so we're going to modify this one later on. Okay. Then to show our modal, okay, instead of set show view modal, so we're just going to have set show modal. Then true. So first is to get contact details. Okay, so this one here is to update our contact that is going to be sent to our component. Okay, save also. Okay, so I'm going to try. Okay, so we have here, so I'm going to try the view button. So click. So I have here now, oops. Oh, yes. Okay, so as you can see, we have seen now our view modal. They're close, Kamala, and so on. Okay, so we have successfully displayed uh, our record by using now our component. Okay, so as you can see, view contact components. I'm just going to modify. I'm just going to delete. Modal body. Okay. Save. Okay, so we don't have now our comment, but as you can see, we have now displayed our uh, the details of the records by just calling it by its name. Okay, but again, uh, for our button, uh, we have displayed our button here into our footer. Okay, but then here we could not access actually our footer in this case. Okay, and later on when we are going to have our update, so we are going to have another button for our update. Okay, so again, if ever we are into our component, okay, um, we don't have an access to our button here since the button here is defined within our main code. Okay, so therefore what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove, okay, the footer. Okay, I have removed here my footer so that I'm just going to define my footer into my component. So if ever I'm going to save that, then display, so we don't have our button anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define my button into my component. Okay, so I'm just going to have maybe I could create a row. Okay, and inside my row, I'm going to have my column. Then I'm just going to have large. Okay, so since we're going to occupy the whole width of the modals, I'm just going to define it as 12. Okay, then I'm going to have it at in the right side. So I'm just going to have for the class name. Okay, text n. Then inside my column, I'm going to have my button. Okay, I copied it from the main. Okay, I'm just going to add again, a class name is equal to width is equal to 25%. Okay, now I'm just for the on click, I'm just going to leave. Okay, we're going to have the on click later on. Okay, so save. Okay, so as you could see, we have here now our close. Okay, but if ever I'm going to close, click on close. Okay, so it has no action yet. Okay, because but we have here our close, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a function into our main, okay, that is going to be called both for the view and the update modal. That when we are going to click on close, it is going to close our modal. Okay, so we're going to have that into our main. Okay, so how are we going to close our modal? Okay, so we are just going to have, I'm just going to define it on top. Okay, I'm going to define it here. Close modal okay, so I'm going to set show modal into false. Okay, then we are going to pass this function into our component. Okay, this is what we call as callback function. So I'm going to define here a callback function. Okay, just going to have close. Okay, I'm just going to call it as close modal. Okay, so that when we are going to click on the button, so we are going to call close modal. Okay, again, this close modal here is actually a function. Okay, a function that is going to be called when the button is closed. Okay, on click close modal. Okay, or we could directly have, since we have only one command, so we're just going to have it close modal. Okay, with and so on. Save. Okay, so again, close modal is a callback function. Okay, the term there is callback function. Okay, in which it is actually a function passed as parameter into our component. Okay, so therefore when we are going to call our view, Okay, our view modal, where it is. Okay, so aside from the contact parameters, so we are going to send also our close modal callback function. Okay, so it is defined into our view.js as close modal. So we are going to assign here close modal is equal to, okay, so that it do not be confusing, I'm just going to have here, let us say, close me. Okay, uh, close me, then I'm going to call it here also as close me. Okay, then here I'm going to call that function as close me. Okay, so close me is equal to close modal. So it is going to call this function that is going to set the show modal. We have here the show modal into false. Okay, so let us try. So Bongbong Marcos, then click. Okay, close. Kamala, close. Okay, then close. Okay, so we have now I'm just going to remove also my footer. Okay, so take note now of the difference. Okay, so instead that we have the very large or the very or large number of lines here, so we have only a single line that calls for uh, the view contact component. Okay, so next is we are going to have our update. Okay, so we are going to transfer also. We have the body here. I'm going to remove actually totally the definition for the update modal here. I'm just going to transfer the body into our component. So here I'm going to create into my contacts folder. I'm going to create another file. I'm just going to call it update.js. Okay. RAFCE. Then we're going to call it update contact. Okay. Then again, I'm just going to copy my import statement. Then we are going to return a container. Okay, that is going to contain the body of our model. So I'm going to copy or cut and paste it here. Okay, but take note here that we have a lot of things to consider into our update. Okay, first is we have our groups list, and we also have, and the value for our contact is going to change. Okay, so we have no problem with update because we have we're just going to display our the records. But here we have another consideration for the update. It is because we are going to change the values. It is possible that we are going to change the values for our records. So therefore, we are going to define here. Okay, we're going to define a state variable. I'm going to name it contact. Then set contact. Then I'm going to have a use state, but then it is okay. I'm just going to copy the definition of, okay, so I have here the definition of my contact here. Okay, so copy, then I'm going to go to the update and paste. But take note that when we are going on the first, when we are going to first run this one here, okay, or when we are going to open our modal, readily there will be values for each of these. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to define contact details. Okay, so that we are going to pass the contact, the current contact into this component, and then we are going to have contact details dot contact ID. Contact name, then we have the contact phone, contact email, the address, group, and the ID. Okay, so aside from the contact details, so I'm going to copy also the update contact. Okay, save it here. So we're going to copy the update contact. We're going to remove it here and transfer it to our update. Okay, update component. Okay, so since we're going to use here an Axios, so therefore I'm going to import also import Axios from Axios. Okay. Then what else? Oh, the URL. Okay. So because in our update, so we have here our, we are going to define our URL. Okay, so I'm going to have here main URL. Okay, then we are going to define our buttons. Okay, so I'm just going to copy from my view. We have here. So I have below my table, I have added a row. Okay, that is going to contain, okay, below our table. So first is we have our close. Okay, and I'm going to define another button. Okay, for the update. Oh no. Another column for my update. I'm going to have the color blue, then update, six and 6. Save. Okay, so I have not defined yet. Okay, the on click for the update. Okay, so we're going to try to find out first if we could now open our update. Okay, so I'm going to have here contact details and close me function. Okay, then in our page, main page. Okay, so I'm going to remove my okay. So since we are going to call now only our update and view from a single definition of the modal. Okay, so we're going to have here update contact. Then I guess I have defined it as contact details and the close me. Okay, but take note, what will happen is that if ever we're going to have it this way, wait, later on, I'm going to try. We are going to test first if I'm going to comment out yet my view contact, because I'm going to try if ever we could now display our update contact. Okay, show update. Okay, so I'm just going to have here now set show modal. Okay, so instead that I'm going to call my update modal, set show update modal, so I'm just going to have here now the set show modal. Okay, I'm just going to try update. Up, we have an error. Oh, we have a use state. Okay, I use state, but I have not imported my use state from React. Okay, save, and I guess we're going to have use client. Save. Okay, so click on update. Oops. Oh, we have form. Form. What else? Okay, so we also have here our groups list. So we must have to submit also our groups list. Okay, so I'm going to define here groups list. Okay, and our groups list must be contact details, then we have groups list is equal to, I think, still groups list. Okay, save. Oh, it's double S. Okay, there's a typographical error there, so I'm just going to have groups list, then save. Again, it's double S. So since I define, okay, I'm just going to define also my parameter with double S. Okay. Ah, groups list. Oh, we have it here. Should also be double S. But anyway, I'm just going to remove. I'm going to update. Ah, I'm just going to follow double S. Save. Okay. Oops. It seems that we have. Okay, my last. Okay, I'm going to click on Kamala Harris. So it displayed Aranton. So the last record that I click is Kamala. So I'm going to have Christian Plagos. So click, it is going to display Kamala. So we are delayed with one record. Okay, so uh, I guess the problem here is when we call, where it is. Okay. So there is a delay when we get the contact details. So take note, on the very first click, guys, I'm going to refresh. Okay, on the very first click, we have blank. Okay, and when we are going to click on the next record, it's going to display the first record that we have clicked. So therefore, there is a delay. So I think it's here. So we're going to have here an await. Let us try. We have here an await, then an async. Okay, let us try. Okay, so I'm going to click. Okay, I'm going to refresh. Then I click on Donald Trump. Okay, so we have here now R, Donald Trump. Then Rysel, so we have Rysel. Okay, so it's just a matter of uh, waiting, and then so we're going to wait before we're going to wait for the record, okay, to be returned before we are going to set our modal. Okay, close. Then we have also our close. Okay. The problem, we have a problem with our buttons. Later on. I'm just going to remove. So with this, I'm going to have centered, center. Oh no. I'm just going to have that later on. Okay, so next is how are we going to save? Okay, so we already have here our update contact. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to call update contact in my update button. Okay, so update, then we have the on click is going to have the update is it update contact? Okay, update contact. So it is not a callback function. It is because we have defined the function within our uh, I'm going to create a lambda. Okay. Save. Okay, we'll try. So I'm going to have Kamala Harris. Then I'm going to change Kamala Harris Jr. Okay. Then update. We have an error. 404. So it is not found. It's a 404, so not found. So I guess we have capital. Eh, main. Okay. So it's capital URL. Okay, so I think I'm correct. So junior, then update. Okay, so we have updated our contact. But take note, it doesn't automatically close. So I'm just going to close it first. Then I'm going to refresh. Okay, so we have now successfully edited our or updated our record. Okay, so I'm going to edit again. I'm going to remove the junior, then update, then close and refresh. Okay, so we have successfully edited our record. Okay, so next is we are going to close our we must have to automatically close after okay, after we have updated our contacts, so we are going to close. So we're going to have, I think it is close me. Okay, save. Donald Trump Jr. Update. So successfully updated. Then refresh. So we have there Donald Trump Jr. Okay. So next is we are going to automatically refresh this one here. Okay. So in our main, so we have automatically refreshed our records, our display by using get contacts. Okay, save this one. Because get contacts is going to display or going to refresh our contacts list. So here I'm going to have an additional parameter, another callback function. I'm going to call it refresh. Okay, I'm just going to have it refresh display. Okay, so that after we have modified or updated our okay, so I'm going to call also before I'm going to close it, I'm going to call refresh display. Okay, refresh display, a callback function from our main in which it is being called from here. Okay, so we're going to have uh, refresh display is equal to get contacts. Okay, save, try. Okay, Donald Trump. Then I'm going to remove my junior, then update. Okay, you have successfully updated, but I guess we have an error. Click OK. We have another error. Update.js 135. Refresh display is not a function. Okay, I guess it's here. Save. Okay, Donald Trump. Then we're going to have junior, then update. Okay, so we have successfully updated. Then okay, but it doesn't refresh our records. Once, okay, try again. Donald Trump, then update. Okay, so it now updated automatically our record. Okay, now so the problem here is we have two calls. Okay, I called here my on line 249, I called view contact, and in my 251 I also call my update contact. So what will happen if ever we're going to have it this way? Okay, so refresh, then click. So as you could see, okay, so we have here the view and we have here our update. Okay, so we have here a problem. So we must have to open only, or we have to call one component at a time. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we are going to identify what should be our current model. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to initialize. Okay, I'll have it here. I'm going to initialize here another state variable. I'm going to call it current modal. Okay, then comma set current modal, use state. Okay, so I'm just going to use an array. Okay, so we are going to have here I'm just going to call it view modal is equal to false, and update modal is equal to false. Oh no. Okay. So then when we are going to close our modal, okay, save it here. So we must have also to set close, no, set or update, not update, but the current modal into view modal to false and update modal into false. Okay, and when we are going to show our modal or update or view, we must have to change also the value for the current modal, where it is. Okay, save it here. View modal set current modal. Then since this is views, I'm going to have view modal would be true and update modal would be false. This will be false. This is true. Okay, and into our modal definition, so we must have to I'm going to enclose this into curly braces. Then I'm going to have current modal dot view. And okay, so Next.js or JavaScript is going to treat this line of code here as a single command. Okay, so both must be true so that it is going to execute this line here. Okay, so if ever view modal is false, so therefore this one here would not be displayed. Okay, and so as with our other one. So this is close, oh no, open, close. Then we have current modal dot update, and we have it there. Oops. Save. Okay, let's try. Okay. View. So we have only view. Oops. Wait, we are going to have it later on. Then update. Then we have update. No update. Oh, I haven't changed my update yet. Update modal is true. Okay, so we have a problem with our body. Okay, wait. Oh, it's update modal. Okay, click save here now our update modal. Then we have here our view modal. But we have a problem with our close. Okay, so what's the error? Oh, false is not defined with K. That is line 107. Okay. View, close, then modify, update, and close. Okay. By the way, we still have a problem. As you can see here, view record details. Then when I click on update, so I still have view record details. Okay, so we are going to modify that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create, instead, I'm going to change this one to modal title and set modal title. Use state, then close. Okay, so we are going to change them when we are going to call the updates. Okay, so here, uh, before I'm going to show that, so I'm going to set modal title, then view record details, and the other one I'm going to have update records. Okay, save. So we have there, I think it's all caps. Okay, so we have not yet changed. Hi, have it here. Okay, so instead of we're going to have view record details, so we're going to have uh, modal title. Okay, so save. So we have it there now, view record details, then update is we have update records. Okay, okay, so the only thing that we are going to fix here is we have our buttons. By the way, it is defined as large, so therefore if I click on, okay, so we have it here. Okay, so I'm just going to modify that um, with my close. Okay, we have it. Width would be 75%. It's also here. Class name. Width must be 75. Save. Okay. Okay, so we're just going to have some space for the update so that if ever that you are going to use a smaller screen, it is going to have margin top 2. Okay. Oops, slower. Okay. Okay. So as you could see into our page, main page, we had more than 400 when we started this video, this lesson. We have more than 400 lines of codes, but now we only have uh, 279 lines of codes. And if ever you are going to have another modal, so we're just going to add something here into our body. Okay. So, for example, if ever that we are going to have our when now at the moment when we are going to click on add, it is going to call for another page. Okay, so we could try another way to do it is actually just to have a modal form into our main page. Okay, so back. Okay, so if ever that we are going to still use a modal with our add, so therefore we're going to have now 3 component calls into our body, and we are going to still add another component into our components folder. Okay, so with this we have now at least solved the problem on the manageability of our codes, okay, on the number of codes that we have in a single program. So we have split our code into how many? So we have, instead of a single file, so we have splitted it into 3 files by using now our components. Okay, so that's all for this video, and I'll see you on the next one.